Hey guys, it's Emily here and welcome back to Journal Engineer. In this video we'll do a quick minimalistic forest theme and I'm gonna talk more about tips and tricks how to make your journals more faster when you don't have enough time, because we're all busy, busy with making spreads. So let's start with the brand new white pages, but first of course is our August cover page. If you missed that video, you can find the link in the description below. As I was really busy the week before filming this video, I didn't have any time to look for any inspiration or anything at all, so I was kind of stuck here. But while sitting over these empty pages, I remembered that the next weekend I was gonna be camping with my family in the forest, so it kind of clicked in my head. So I decided to add a forest in the lower part of the paper and maybe a hut. Yes, definitely a hut. With a small chimney with a smoke. Okay, so we have the basics. Now let's make the forest wider, because the bigger the better. On the next page for the monthly spreads, again I had zero ideas what I wanted to put here. So I skipped the brain dumps for a few months ago, so it would be great to put one here and plus trackers, okay. I'm gonna think about these pages later actually. Let's go back to the cover. As I didn't have that much time, I wanted to make something really simple, so basically I'm going to use only 3 things on this cover page. First is the Winsor & Newton color palette, 1 micron pen and also 1 soft brush pen. By the way, I noticed that many people don't have a soft brush pens, so if you don't have one, no worries. In this spread I will use it only to write the word September in more calligraphic style, so you can just do whatever font you want with whatever pens you have. The next thing I do is the hut. I think this is gonna be my favorite part of this theme. I start with a simple triangle and I double it so the roof have more volume. I continue with the top roof line. I do it tilted so the hut can have more perspective and have depth. Then I add a small simple chimney. Yay! I love it! After that I start a line from the roof down. This is the back part of our hut. If you want a good perspective, make sure that the back of the roof line is completely parallel to the front roof line, like here. And also the same length. I also add the bottom roof line, which is again parallel to the top one. You see, it's like they're parallel to one another. Then I draw a quite small door and I close the triangle of the hut. At this point I can change the hut to a drawing of a small short Toblerone chocolate. I add also a quick panoramic window in the upper part of the hut and I add a double frame so I can have more details on the housing. Unfortunately, my SD card got full and I didn't record some of the drawing, so let me introduce you to the newbies here, Mr. Bench and Mrs. Fire, and a few more windows. I continue with the texture of the roof, nothing complicated, just some short lines one next to another. So far so good. Let's see what we can do with the colors. As I will have only one color, green, I don't bother to take more glasses of water, so I just prepare one. But if you are painting watercolor with more colors, definitely take a second glass for cleaning. Don't look at my lazy ass. I start mixing the colors until I have the one that I like. I imagine the forest in more darker toned green, but as I will have more trees, one behind another, the trees on the back are gonna fade slowly. You will see that just in a second. I finally got a green that I like. It also has a bit of brown in it, so I can have more darker pigment. It's not only green mixed there, but I don't use black for the dark pigment as it may go too dark and unnatural. I make myself comfortable and start with the forest. As I want my trees to be rather sketchy, I will use a slightly larger amount of water on the page. But be careful how much water your paper can hold before it drips, because I'm using right now Dingbats notebooks that have 100 GSM, grams per square meter of paper, and if you use less, just keep that in mind. Or if you don't know your GSM of your paper, just see how the paper reacts with the water. First I put a bit of color and then I draw the silhouette of the tree with water. The water gets colored from the first green paint on the page, so I can track closely the shape of the tree and not just wondering where the f I drew the water. Then I add more green paint and doing the final shape of the tree. So doing the trees, your wrist should be relaxed because you will work mostly with the tip of the brush. In this way you will achieve the effect of the single branches as you see here, and you won't just draw the 5-year-old Christmas tree. that everybody of us has done at some point. Then I start another tree, but a bit more darker. As you see, this time I started from the top of the tree and I continue slowly to paint the lower part. I even put more darker green from time to time as the tree is too big and my brush too small to do it with just one green charge. Honestly, the second tree turned out so good that I overlaid the first one with more darker green so they can be more coherent with one another. I started the third tree with the same technique from up to down. In this way I have more control over the shape of the tree. I want you to notice the chaotic movements my arm is doing. I work only with the tip of the brush when I go towards the branches and I use the middle of the brush when I'm in the center of the tree. In this way I will have more solid green in the middle of the tree, like it's usually when you look at the forest, and also I'm gonna have separate branches on the sides. The relaxed twists and the chaotic movements are also for the color distribution. In this way I can have more depth in the forest and in each tree. Of course, there are more professional ways to do this. I'm just explaining it like for idiots, but I'm myself an idiot most of the time. So no offense guys, I just like simple things. And also here I'm aiming for a quick minimalist spread and not 100-hour painting adventure. Now as I have more trees on the page, you can see that I'm trying to distinguish each tree from the others. There are two methods. The first one is leaving a small white gap between them. You can see it right here. You see the green is not actually touching. Or the second method is to use different tone on the same height of the tree. I personally mix both of the methods because, I don't know, I just like it more. And if you like this video so far, don't forget to give it a like or even subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and I love seeing the family growing. So welcome here. I continue with the other page where I'm going to do the same forest, just a bit higher, so I can balance the both pages, you know, because of the colors. I don't want one of the pages to be too empty and the other too colorful. As you see, first I do the front trees with much more darker green and then I start fading away the color. The last trees in the back are barely visible, but this makes the entire depth effect. You can see these pictures here from a real-life forest and just imagine the things more clearly. After I finish with the trees themselves, I drew the tree stumps. Here you have two choices. The first is to do the tree stumps as I do now, and the second is to continue the trees to the bottom of the page. However, I decided to choose the first one as I have the house on the page as well, which is basically built up on the ground with the trees on the same line. So it was going to be kind of strange to see the bottom of the house but not the bottom of the trees. And we're ready with the trees but not with the house. With Art.emi.s 02, I overlined the first thin lines that I drew. Why? Well, because the hut can appear more minimalistic. Usually when you have white lines, they're more flawless for the eye than the thin ones, and if you want to put a focus on a certain object, draw it with wider lines. Better, isn't it? We also add a cute smoke from the chimney. Oh! I love it. And last with Micron 005, I decorate the window frames and the roof more. It's a small meaningless detail, but I will see it every day for a month, so it actually matters to me. And of course, if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm struggling with keeping a theme minimalistic. And here I made the stupid decision to cover the hut. Honestly, watching this video right now while recording the voiceover, I really regret this decision of mine. I regretted it back then as well, and that's why my weeklies that you're gonna see in the next video are with uncovered black and white huts. It's just way more better, but somehow I decided that this is going to be a good idea at the moment. Anyway, I make the classic colors, the roof I do red and the walls I do yellow. I don't know why I did the windows gray, honestly. I mean, it looks awful, but I'm just gonna forget about it. I know, it's not the best hut, but I will learn from my mistakes, I promise. Now it's time for my favorite part, the quote. And of course, I did a mistake on the second word. I'm just cursed with these quotes, guys. And I love them so much, I mean, it's almost like to be allergic to your favorite food. No, actually, I get my words back. I feel really sorry for the people that cannot taste whichever food it is for they're allergic. September is my month. I always loved it, not only because I was born in it, but because it's like the gateway of autumn. So this quote fits perfectly on its place. And we are ready with the cover page. I'm gonna flip the page for the monthly trackers, and I'm gonna use this round stamp so I can just write everything or just stamp everything. And here I'm gonna talk more about fast bullet journaling tips. When you don't have enough time but you still want a nice and appealing theme, so of course the best and fastest method to do is the original bullet journaling method without any drawings or art at all. But let's be honest, if you're watching this video right now, you like to add at least a few drawings in your journal. So one of my tricks when I want to do really fast theme is to research for fast drawings on YouTube, you know, really creative, right? Or Pinterest also, there are nice ideas there as well. And I look for some inspiration. I also made this rule for me that I can use only 2 colors. In our case of this theme, I use only black and green. Again, we forget about the hut. Usually with a darker color I do the lines and the stamps, and with the lighter one I do the drawings as the trees are here. Another good example is my 2022 August theme. There I did the quick lavenders and it was pretty fast as well. Just purple soft brush and again black micron, that's all. Of course, another way more faster way is to use scrapbooking, and then you can make a theme and the weeklies even faster than we're doing now. Actually, I'm gonna do that in November 2022, so watch out for that video in a few weeks. Also, another thing that saves a lot of time are the stamps. As you see, I just needed 10 seconds to place them with the ink. Of course, sometimes the stamps can slow us down. This is mostly the case with the letter stamps, as it will be way more faster if we write the words ourselves than to stamp the quote letter by letter. You see, it takes me a lot of time. But in this case of this theme, I really like the design of the stamps. It is all about compromises. As I think of the topic now while talking, there are other stuff that I do to make my themes more faster, but I don't think I'll have enough time in this video for them, so probably I'm gonna make another bu.journal talks episode about fast themes for busy journalists. Stay tuned! Going back to the forest drawing, here you can see that I drew the trees lazier. What does this mean? Remember on the previous page I told you to use only the tip of the brush? Well, here I got kinda lazy, so I'm using the entire brush to draw the trees, and you can immediately notice the difference that the branches are not separated as on the previous page. This tree looks like a big green cone for me, but I don't pay much attention to that as I love the overall image. However, here you have a good example what you can achieve if you don't use, the tip of the brush and you just use the entire brush. As I want to add more trees behind the trackers, I really carefully outline the stamps. In this part of the drawing, I also use more water as it can be way more easier for me to distribute the color evenly. And with this, honestly, I think that we are ready. I think that this theme turned out great actually when I just see it. I can't wait to make the weeklies as well, it could be really interesting. And also talking about weeklies, the next video is gonna be a bu.journal talks episode, again, episode number 2. I'm gonna do the weeklies and talk about topic about weekly motivation and how I keep myself motivated all of the time. If you like this video so far, don't forget to give it a like or even subscribe to the channel. I usually post 2 or 3 videos per month, or sometimes I just don't post at all. So I won't spam you a lot. So thank you guys, thank you at the end. I really appreciate that. And here are also some photos from our trip to the forest that actually inspired this theme. And yep, see you in the next video. Until then, don't forget to stay on the sunny side.